there, it's Sandra here from Createinspain, and today I wanted to show you an airbrush system for beginners, or for those who just want to have a little dabble, maybe do some stenciling, that type of thing. This is not a system for serious artwork, but it has a couple of big advantages. For those who've never airbrushed before, it's a good starting point. You may find it is all you actually need to do some airbrushing, depending on what you want to do. This, for me, came in this week at just under €20 for everything. The compressor, the airbrush, the accessories that go with the whole lot. And I don't think you can really argue at that when you get the compressor included. It's not the highest quality airbrush by any means, but it will do. It will airbrush. So the other thing about this is no cords, no wires, no nothing. This is a charged airbrush compressor. So it has a USB-C on that side and a normal USB on the other end of the cord. So it is possible to charge it up using your laptop or whatever if you've got a USB connection. The normal sort of USB, i.e. this sort. I don't have one on my Mac. You charge it up. It does take 2.5 hours to fully charge. So let's go through just what you get in the kit. You get a very, very basic explanatory booklet. To my way of thinking, this is probably enough for most beginners to start off with, but it doesn't tell you everything that you should know about if you have to strip it down. I think the idea with this one is that you're not going to strip it down, which, as long as you were aware of exactly how to use an airbrush and how to clean it, you generally don't need to strip it down very often. But beginners are more likely to make mistakes, and therefore I think knowing how to strip it down is probably not a bad idea, although it's something to be avoided. It could be they thought this is a beginner's one, we're not going to risk people stripping it down and then saying it doesn't work. That's a possibility. They give you some little brushes which are useful for cleaning things out. They give you a pipette so that you can drop ink into the cup if you want to do it that way. And they give you some tools. I would leave those tools in the bag and I would never ever use them on an airbrush that you valued because, to my way of thinking, they're too abrasive. They also give you, and I put them in a separate little baggie inside because I thought if I get anything out of here, I'm likely to lose these tiny, I don't know if you can see them there, whoops, get it in the right place, tiny little O-rings. I put those in a little bag and labelled it simply so that I would not lose them. If I drop that on the floor, I can find it. If I drop the O-rings on the floor, no, not much chance of finding those because they're transparent as well. And if you've got carpet, no chance. It comes with 3 cups. The one that I've got attached now, they simply screw in. One like that and one double the size. So if you want to do larger quantities of paint, you can. Now I don't need that for the moment because it is fully charged. I charged it last night. Now, I tested it yesterday because I couldn't find anywhere that said exactly how long the battery would last. And I thought, I can't do a review on this, and I did buy it myself, by the way. I can't do a review on this without telling you how long the battery lasts when you first get it. So what I did yesterday was I switched it on, full power. Did this every now and again, just for the fun of it, because it doesn't make any difference. The compressor is on. Makes no odds. I was just playing with it. I kept it on mostly for an hour. I would say at least 50 minutes of that it was actually working, and I did switch it off a couple of times for a few minutes because I wasn't actually using it, I was just testing the battery. So I think you can get 45 to 50 minutes out of this with a single charge, but it does require a 2.5 hour charge. At least the way I was charging it does. Maybe it depends on what you've got it hooked up to. I don't know, that might increase the speed of the charge, but it took mine 2.5 hours. I thought after an hour and a half it might have been done, and I checked and it wasn't. and I checked at 2 hours and it wasn't done, 2.5 hours it did. Now you notice the button here, there are 3 speeds of compressor, or PSI I should say, on this particular model. So this is the highest one, you get a red light, don't think you can see that on camera. The second one gives you a blue light, and the third one, lowest, gives you a green light. Now, I don't think there are too many cases where you're going to want to use the lowest pressure, but you might possibly, because one of the things that you can use this for, and I'm thinking about people who might have difficulties with their hands. If, for example, you like doing like the ink designs where you put ink into alcohol mixture and you blow it around and so on. As soon as you switch this on, this will blow air. So you only have to hold that and you can use it to blow things around. If I put this on here, make it still. So if you want to do that and you find you can't use like the squeeze pumps and you don't want to blow through a straw and you want to maybe do some artwork, then this might be a good compromise for you. And you can actually use it if you can do this action. I mean, it depends on whether you have arthritis or something in that finger, I guess. But as long as you don't, and you can operate a trigger like that, then you can use it as an airbrush. So, 2 purposes. This one comes off. Now, in spite of my best efforts, this ring remains attached and firmly attached to my airbrush here. It's not a problem because this is likely to be the only airbrush that I use on this one. It has a 4mm nozzle, I believe, and I intend to use this for basically varnishing or sealing items. I don't intend to use it for much else. Maybe for some ink blowing around or something like that, but regarding painting, I've got 5 other airbrushes. I don't really need to use another one. And unfortunately, not all my airbrushes will fit this. I wanted to show you what it looks like when you actually get it, so I'm going to have to try and remove this. I may well need a pair of pliers to do it. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got a good grip and I still can't get that. Let me get a pair of pliers. Now this is really only regards people who might have other airbrushes, so I wanted you to see what it looks like when you get it. If you do have to take it off, put a cloth around it and then gentle pressure, give it a twist, you'll feel it give. I mean, I have actually lubricated this and it still won't stay on there, it stays on there. When you get this, it looks like that. In order to use that type of fitting, you need an airbrush that has this type of fitting on the inside. And a lot of airbrushes have an exterior screw thread, not an interior one. And obviously it needs to be the correct size. So I do have 1 or 2 airbrushes that will actually go on this straight off, but most of my airbrushes don't fit this. You can get this type of airbrush and it's basically the same thing, but it has a hose, a curly hose on it as well. But it's a lot more money for what is basically the same thing with a curly hose. It's like twice the price. And I'm thinking, I don't understand why it should be. But because I've got 2 other compressors anyway, and I know what I want to use this for, and it will do what I need it to do, I'm not that bothered. So compressor, self-contained. Whichever one you're using just screws onto the front like so. This is a nozzle cap. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be in 2 parts because I've never been able to get it into 2 parts. I tried, it just wouldn't separate. But the nozzle cap comes off. Now this is where you have to be careful. There we go. You can see the needle on my finger there. Be very careful when you put this down, you do not want to bend your needle. This is the actual nozzle that it goes through. And it is pretty tiny. Okay, it is not very large at all. And you do not want to lose this because if you do, your airbrush isn't going to work. Now, unusually, this one does not screw in. Now, normally I would say that is a minus point. However, should you need to take it off and clean it, this is actually a plus point if you're a beginner and you're not used to it. Because trying to screw something which is usually smaller than this one, I hasten to add, into your airbrush requires delicacy and precision and some patience, because they are very, very fiddly. Okay, so I'll put that back on, and you can just about see the needle going through there. So this is what's known as the trigger. That's perfectly acceptable at the moment. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. This is what controls how far your trigger goes back. If you wind it in, trigger doesn't move very much at all. Open it up, trigger goes all the way back. If you open it up fully, like so. I'll close that down a little bit. So if you take the back end off, this is the needle, and this is the chuck that holds the needle in place. And when you pull the trigger back, the needle goes back. The needle going back makes a hole in the front empty so that the paint can go through the hole. When it's like that, it doesn't. Now, there are double action airbrushes. This is not one of them. This one, as soon as you pull that back, it starts to release paint. Double action ones, you press down to release air and then you pull back. This one releases air as soon as it is switched on, as I mentioned previously. Now, to clean it, you clean out the cup, you clean out the nozzle, you undo the chuck, you remove the needle, and then when you've cleaned it, you carefully put it back together, and that's it. Now, how you clean out the cup is pretty simple. First of all, you empty out any excess paint, you wipe it out, you put the appropriate cleaner, a few drops of it in there. You can put your finger over the top, pull the lever back, and it will bubble paint and cleaner in the container here. And you can either shoot it out into a cloth, or if you decide you want one, you can get yourself a container like this, or make something similar if you happen to be that way inclined. And you have it attached to the pump, and you basically pull back the trigger, and what's in there goes into the jar. And this is just a little filter. So that is how it is cleaned out. You want to be careful because you don't want to damage anything, but it isn't rocket science and it isn't that difficult to do. And there are many, many videos from people who know what they're doing, and I suggest you go to the channel of one of the regular brands of airbrush makers, so that they show you how to actually clean things up. The components are all very similar, but you shouldn't need to do anything else except take that off, take your cup off, and remove the needle. When you remove the needle, you want to make sure you've got your finger on the trigger, because the trigger, if you, for example, you turn it and you don't have your finger on it, the trigger can fall out. Now, it isn't difficult to put back, it's just a little bit fiddly, and so you want to make sure you don't accidentally let it fall out, and therefore having your finger on the trigger is the best bet, and then there isn't a problem. So I'm not going to bother shooting stuff through this for this video. I will tell you that your paint needs to be reasonably thin in order to use it, as is the case with all airbrushes. You can use airbrush paint, you can use food colorings, in which case obviously you don't need to thin anything down. You can use airbrush paints which are diluted down still further with airbrush thinner. There are many, many videos on how to thin paint down. But for a beginner, what I would suggest, if you are just using an airbrush for the first time, just use something like an ink, which is very, very fluid, and then you don't have to worry about it. Airbrush paints sometimes still need to be thinned. Some do, some don't. If you've stored them for a while, they might need to be thinned anyway. So yeah, that is basically it. So 2.5 hours to charge, about 50 minutes working time once it is charged. And is it good value for money? I think for what you're getting, it's not bad. I don't think you can really complain at that. Is the quality absolutely brilliant on the airbrush? No, I've got better airbrushes, but then all of them cost as much as this complete set just for the airbrush, and some of them cost considerably more than that. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention is when I got this one, the chuck at the back here was very, very tight. I could not unwind it with my fingers. No other airbrush I've ever had have I ever had to take a pair of pliers to it to undo it. Again, cloth around it so you don't damage, grip with pliers, just give it a twist and you should be able to undo it. And also I found the trigger was very, well, not so much stiff as grindy, if you like. It wasn't smooth like this is. And the simple answer to that is some silicone spray. You can spray directly down into here, you can spray on the threads. I even put a little bit on the threads on the nozzle so that I could undo those easily. It's best to do it before you use it the first time because that way it's set up well for you. So you spray a little silicone in there and you just open this up so that you can use the trigger to its fullest extent and like that. And this is now as smooth as could be, and it was really rough feeling before, but this is now fine. How does it compare to other things that I've got compressor wise? I have this one which is supposedly a makeup or nail art compressor. Very, very low power. I think this is similar to that, only without having to be plugged in and without the hose. I do think a hose attachment for this may possibly be useful, but I don't know if the hose one has to have the hose attached or whether you can just simply attach your airbrush to the can. I wouldn't want to put an air hose on it particularly most of the time. It might be handy on the odd occasion, but basically for me this use is going to do what I want it to do, just a quick spray of a varnish for something. The advantage of the air hose, even if it's a relatively short one, is that you can use other airbrushes on it. If you don't have any other airbrushes, then there is really very little point in having one which has got a hose on it, in my opinion. So there we go. Hope you found that useful, and if you do want to give airbrushing a go, then something like this might be just what you're looking for. Don't pay too much for it, but if you're using it for simple things like stenciling, blending on cards, that sort of stuff, and maybe the odd touch-up of something, or maybe even doing base coats for Warhammer models or something like that, then this should do the job. But it will only last you 45 to 50 minutes on one charge. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Take care.